And this morning in the bottom left-hand corner of lane lines, we have the German Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Sentinels. It is ShoWTimE. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Weibo Gaming. It is SHIN. Here we go. But yeah, the last two games there between ShoWTimE and Maru, the pants were up, but it did not matter. Did not matter, man. It was the wrong kind of pants. Oh no. But here we have a similar dynamic, I guess, in a way. SHIN, he is typically a very aggressive player. He's very aggressive, typically on 3 bases. Like many Zerg players, he's not really one that does enjoy playing the late game and being forced into play against SkyToss, so we'll prefer to end the game earlier than that, and we'll see if he can. We'll see if he can. From the side of ShoWTimE, I do think that he's going to be a lot more stable, a lot more safe, a lot more secure here against SHIN. In this matchup, there are less ways to be aggressive from the Zerg side of things, so I will say that ShoWTimE will have a much safer time getting up to 2, 3, 4 bases and securing himself. It's going to be up to SHIN to try to find a way to break that defense of ShoWTimE. We'll see if he can. We'll see if he can. There are ways to be creative in regards to drop lord play. I mean, there is an all-in that's been rising in popularity where you go into a German taxi, but you mix in drop lords as well. I would say the problem with that build, though, is that it was popularized by, I want to say Rainer. I want to say Rainer popularized it maybe a year ago. And because of that, a lot of the Europeans are very well versed in it. Like they're practiced, well practiced. To the point where if they scout a drop lord all in, they'd blindly get shield batteries in their mineral lines just to buy time against link drops. So we'll see. Keep an eye on SHIN. Behind the Stargate opener out of ShoWTimE, so Stargate into Oracle into a 3rd base. And now ShoWTimE does have a unique style of ZvP where I believe he goes Oracle into Phoenix. I think he does enjoy going into early Phoenixes. Phoenixes, they are a good way to shut down Overlords, to deny vision, but also to deter Spire play and deter mutas. So if he goes for the Oracle into Phoenix once again. ShoWTimE, he will commit, or he will threaten the shade. Just getting eyes on saturation. SHIN so far hatch gas pool into a 3rd. And it is going to be Oracle first. Does open Oracle, double adept. Oh! Almost getting caught out. Shading to main, 2 adepts taking 1 shot drones. He does commit, he gets 1. It's 1 drone, SHIN does pull away in time. And he'll lose a 2nd drone. Up! Barely not. We do get a little worker. So there we go. We do get a lot of shots off. There we go. 2nd worker does go down. Gets 2. Does get 2. Not the best trade from ShoWTimE, but I like it even back and forth. 2 deaths with 2 workers. Ideally wanted a little bit more. Oracle is out. Oracle will defend the 3rd base. Lings move in, and the Oracle is ready. So ShoWTimE is secure. To have a 2nd Oracle on the way. With this, he can start to be active on the map. Oh, okay, and it is going to be opening up triple Oracle, no Phoenix. With this, he can be a little bit more active across the map as well. I want to say that in years past, there was a build where ShoWTimE would open up quadruple Oracle. Like, he'd just make extra Oracles and he'd have them paired up in 2. But it's been a while. It has been a while. Gets 3 drone kills across the map. Behind this, SHIN's just droning. He's just droning up. He's just saturating. Oracles, they back off. Behind this, 4 Twilight Council. Standard follow-up here out of ShoWTimE. Looks like Blossom and Blink. 3rd Oracle has arrived. Does not commit into a 4th Oracle. But with this, he can now dive in and try to snipe Queens. And of course, ignore Spores and go straight for Mineral Lines. The Oracles are softened up. Ducklings, they attempt to run by, but Adepts are in position. Oracles, they dive in. Queens are ready. Does go for the middle line regardless. Ooh, he's gonna lose an Oracle though. Yeah, he loses one, but does get 6 drones. Not the worst trade here for ShoWTimE, but less Oracles does mean less defense back at home. Does pull out. Pulls out behind this, plus on a blink. Do have a couple of gates on the way, get into a 4-gate setup. Now, ShoWTimE has shown us that he can be quite cheesy in this matchup. If you're watching his series against Raynor during the EWC European qualifiers, I do recommend it. He was very aggressive, and we saw a lot of Glavenep builds in that series. But I do think that was specifically against Raynor. I think he mentioned himself that he, like, afterwards, after the series, he did tweet. He was on Twitter, and he did mention how he didn't really believe that he had much chance against Raynor in a standard game. That's why he was so cheeky. Here against Shin, I would imagine that ShoWTimE has more confidence. As he didn't like his chances against Raynor's like standard macro play. As we're opening up plus on a blink and following this up with Archons with Storm. Okay, not with Colossus. Even getting a safety cannon. Oracles, they check across the map. They get eyes on the saturation, on the gases, on full 3-base saturation, 3rd base on the way. Oh, right, I didn't get to mention this, but it's going to be Eva Chamber follow-up here out of SHIN, going to +1, going into Hydras and Roaches. Okay, investing into both. Now, the big question becomes, does SHIN saturate his 4th base, or is it just for Larva? We mentioned before that when it comes to all-ins and aggressive builds in this matchup, 3-base play is typically the go-to from the side of Zerg. To go for not 2-base all-ins, but 3-base all-ins instead. The 4th is under fire. The goal here is to force a cancel, to force the all-in. There it is, does force a cancel. I mean, ShoWTimE doing well for himself. Hides back. Stasis is not triggered, and SHIN, he's not going for the all-in. He's taking, bam, Infestation with the first sign here of a follow-up tech of working towards Hive, working towards Lurkers. So SHIN, he's taking up. Meanwhile, ShoWTimE, a really strong start. Did force a cancel, traded well against the army. Ling run-by is attempted, but there are cannons and shield batteries ready for this. Oh my god. And again, the reason for this is I'm pretty sure ShoWTimE is expecting an all-in out of SHIN after denying the 4th base. We can see that SHIN is taking up there. So you could make an argument that all these cannons and shield batteries, they're a bit of a waste. They're not necessary. Once again, ShoWTimE is just assuming what SHIN is going to do. We saw this in game 1 against Maru, in a way. Meanwhile, SHIN, he's squeezing out more workers. Yep, taking gases, droning up. Now ShoWTimE is taking. Storm is almost done. Getting to Storm, Robo. Jesus, ShoWTimE is really getting ready for an all-in that isn't happening. Yes, SHIN is being active on the map, but remember, he's still droning. He's still droning. He's still saturating. You can see here he's been droning the entire time. This is a big investment here for ShoWTimE. And the other brutal thing here is that we could have cut this in half, referring to the cannons and shield batteries, and this could have been a faster 4th. The 4th would already be on the way. It would be halfway done, if not complete by now. So late 4th base for ShoWTimE. And SHIN is at the advantage. Even though his 4th was denied initially, he's able to fully drone up, get up to 80 workers, spreading all of his creep, and the Hive is almost complete as well. Again, working towards Lurker tech. He's almost there. Lurkers are morphing in. And once the Lurkers come online, I do favor SHIN in this position. Once they morph in. Yeah, now we're going to Skytles. Okay. Now we're going to Skytles here, but again, ShoWTimE's economy is delayed, so it's a late economy. SHIN is going to be the first to max out. He's maxed out here with the Roach Hydra Lurker. Still waiting for his upgrades. Range is still on the way. Oracle's towards the 4th. Does get eyes on full saturation, now he knows. And here come the Lurkers. Yeah, Shin going for the kill move, going for that area between the natural and the third. Yeah, lurkers, they will burrow. We have a couple of storms coming up. But only a couple. And with that lurkers, they burrow. ShoWTimE pushing into lurkers. Oh, he has no storm. Yeah, storms are coming in from behind. That's a lot of storms. That's a lot of High Templar. And it looks like it should be enough. Yeah, the storms will connect. I said there's still 3 lurkers left. The army breaks through. Lings, they collapse on the High Templar. They try to. Oh, another storm. Oh god, the storms are brutal. Storms do connect with the lurkers. They get a lot of damage on in the back line. Yeah, they get a lot of damage. Alas, SHIN is running out of reinforcements, running out of buffer. He's rallying everything he can across the map. It's getting quite close. But SHIN's done it. Yeah, SHIN, he has done it. He breaks through in between. Breaks the natural. The army just kind of push in. Lurkers, they zone away the High Templar. Roaches, they dive on top as well. They focus every single High Templar down. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, no more storms. And SHIN, he's done it. He has done it. And again, ShoWTimE, he was just getting ready for an all-in that never came. GG gets called, and SHIN, he will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. ShoWTimE with a bit of a mystery that game, again, because of how heavily he committed into the shield batteries, into the cannons, into his defensive setup. It did mean that his other bases were delayed. His 4th base was late, his tech was late, his transitioning into Skytoss was late as well. Everything was delayed because he was securing himself so hard on 3 bases, and in the end, it wasn't necessary. In the end, SHIN was droning. SHIN, he was just droning up, just chilling, just saturating. With that, SHIN does take a lead in the series, and now we're getting to game number 2. It does feel like ShoWTimE got into his... do I want to say he got into his own head? It's one of those things where ShoWTimE just assumed, and I don't blame him, because I mentioned before that SHIN, he is one to be hyper-aggressive and to commit, right? So after killing the 4th base, he just assumed, hey, you're SHIN, you're probably just going to all-in me, right? So like, may as well just get ready for that and hard counter that. Unfortunately, SHIN had other plans. GG, well played. With that, we're getting to game number 2. And we'll see how our players will adjust as we get into, oh, once again, Pylon. Pylon for game 2. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have the German Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Sentinels down in the series. We'll see if we can bounce back and make a series out of this. It is ShoWTimE. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have Zapana, we have the South Korean Zerg player, we have the blue Zerg representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is SHIN. Hello. As welcome one all to Pylon. Pylon has a much shorter rush distance by ground, and SHIN, he does move out with the initial drone, does go for the initial extractor trick here, does look to expand the probes in position, and that means SHIN, he is ready to go for the proxy hatchery. Let's go. Drone is on the way, and the hatchery is thrown down. Throws down the hatchery again. This is designed to delay the expansion. Basically, we're seeing the same thing. We see ShoWTimE Pylon block the natural, SHIN hatchery blocks the natural as well. So both players are forced to expand elsewhere, or at least SHIN, or ideally ShoWTimE wants to force SHIN to expand elsewhere. 2 gate opener, so a delayed expansion, has to throw down the 2nd gateway into a cyber core. SHIN throws down his gas into spawning pool. Gas pool follower. You can see the Overlord is over his own natural. He's waiting to see if ShoWTimE does leave, so he can expand. And there is SHIN forced to expand at the unnatural location. So this is going to be a gas pull into hatchery opener here by SHIN. This expansion, because there's a lot of progression, we might just let this finish. Yeah, we can. So typically the response to a proxy hatchery or a hatch block like this is you pull the boys. You pull like 6 to 7 probes, you chrono out the first zealots, and you focus this down, and then you can deny this. But because he didn't pull the boys, because there was only one zealot, this means that this will survive even longer. This means that you don't have to cancel. You can make a queen here. You can make zerglings out of this larva, and head into the base. Now we can see here there's no queen, but we'll keep an eye on the larva here. Going for the overlord, and there we go. Here come the zerglings. And zerglings are on the way. SHIN, he's hoping to try to snipe some of the workers. Does cancel. The overlord here does force his Zealot to stick around a little bit longer, but here comes a counterattack. What's it going to be? It's going to be 2 adepts and 2 zealots moving out across the map. Link speed is halfway done. Zerglings are ready. ShoWTimE does hit the natural. SHIN double expanding. And SHIN is just waiting for link speed, and ideally he wants to catch every one of these units. Picking up zerglings. SHIN is moving in. Oh, that's going to be 4 adepts though. I don't know if SHIN has enough, I'll be honest. SHIN, he's got 18 zerglings, but with good positioning here, these zerglings, I don't know if they can engage. He's going for it. It does go for the dive. Gets a decent surround, not bad. He's going for the base. He's going for the expansion. Oh no, can he get it? Oh my god, barely not 11 HP. The base survives us. They bust into the main. Nice block. Nice block there with the spine cooler. Adepts they bust in. They will get 1 drone. Just the one. They do shade back. He wants the base. No, he wants it. Lings are out of position. And 1 more volley, 1 more shot. Oh my god, the expansion goes down. Brutal pickoff. And ShoWTimE takes the lead. He will lose everything here. He will lose all the adepts, but that was worth it. Was it 4 adepts and 2 zealots? They kill the expansion. The zerglings go into the counterattack. Back at home, you can see that ShoWTimE's in position. He's fully walled up. And SHIN is looking dire here. He does re-expand. He does have a natural, I suppose. We'll lose 2 more drones. We'll lose 2 more workers. And ShoWTimE takes the lead. ShoWTimE takes the lead. He's able to saturate on 2 bases. More oracles are on the way. And just so many zerglings here. Just was not worth it. Now we have plenty of adepts. Oh my god. 5 adepts have worked in. So you see once again stage drop into the main. More drones going to be going down. So 5 worker kills and 2 expansions. Oh god. it's been a shaky start for SHIN. It's been very shaky. ShoWTimE securing his 3rd. ShoWTimE still ahead. Behind this, SHIN going into +1 melee. I would imagine this is melee to go into Ling Hydra. And ShoWTimE going for a Twilight Council and a Forge. Now, the timings in this game are all a little bit off just because of the shaky start, just because of the pylon block, the hatchery block. Like it has been a shaky start. So this should be +1 and blink, but this could be charge instead. ShoWTimE knows he has the advantage. He might just double down. Yeah, he sees the Evo Chamber, he sees +1. He knows that roaches are going to be skipped. So going for charge is viable. Does he go for the kill? Does he play standard? He's going for the kill. Let's go. So basically what's happening here is +1 melee zerglings is a sign that we're trying to skip roaches and go into Ling Hydra, which is better against blink stalkers, which is the standard opener of the Protoss. Charge lots struggle against a more roach heavy start, against a standard safe opener, which is why you rarely see charge. But if you scout and if you see that your opponent is skipping roaches and if they're skipping banelings, then a ShoWTiming can kill a Zerg player, straight up. Because there's no roaches or banelings to defend. It's just purely Ling Hydra. Or Ling Queen Hydra. So ShoWTime, he does scout, he does recognize what's going on. And it's on ShoWTime to hide those zealots. Right now he's revealing a Depth Stalker. Charge on the way. Lings, they rotate. And they can try to get some damage, but yeah, for the most part, ShoWTime is in position. Dual Zone the army away. We have that Gateway Explosion finishing up. Waiting for the War Prism, and then it's go time. Here we go. Warping in High Templar, warping in Archons. And we'll see if SHIN can survive this. Baneling Nest on the way, thankfully. Is getting the nest. The main nest will help. Not saying that this will confirm his defense, but it will definitely help here against those charge lots. Wings move in, Archons are revealed, now he knows. Does spot the Archons. He's now aware of what's coming his way. I'm not sure we're waiting for Storm. Never mind. So I assumed that ShoWTime was going to hit a timing with +1 in charge. And when I saw the High Templar in the Prism, I was like, oh, maybe he's just going to like reinforce with like make a couple of Archons and then push. But no, he's being very defensive here. And because of this, like again, he's setting up cannons, shield batteries, more station traps. This is very similar to game 1 actually. And he's allowing SHIN to drone. Now SHIN, he sees this, he can drone up, he can saturate. Now the aggressions are coming his way. I was saying earlier how SHIN was vulnerable, he is. But now he can work towards lurkers. Now if he can get to lurker tech, he can hold, he can survive. There's still a window in time here where he is vulnerable, and here we go. But it's only Zealot harass. The main army's still at home. Against ShoWTime, we gotta move out, we gotta push. Oh no! Oh my god, jeez, that was close. The High Templar almost got surrounded. This will delay the move outs. Zealots, they run into Hydras. The drop is denied. ShoWTime, that momentum that he had, it's slipping away. It is slipping away. Right now it's all on it's all on SHIN to delay this move out. He has Link ready for the run by. So everything's ready. We have 21 Banelings morphing in. And here comes a push. Now I still feel like this can kill. It comes down to the storms, right? How good are the storms going to be? Zerglings, they threaten to run by. ShoWTime, he turns back around. Fourth base is denied. Prism is still out there. And here comes the drop. I say that, here comes ShoWTime as well. And it's all happening at once. We have the Zealot run by in towards the bases. Prism is deflected. Main army's pushing in. And again, I still feel like SHIN cannot engage with the main army. Not without lurkers that he never teched up. So let's move in. The drop gets spotted. SHIN is going to be shut down. Oh, losing one full drop lord. 1, 2. Losing all 3. There's one drop lord left. Oh no! Barely gets through. And yeah, ShoWTime has nothing to worry about. So my concern was that ShoWTime was being too passive and that SHIN would be able to drone up to 4 bases, which happened, and take up into lurkers. He did drone up to 4 bases, but he is doubling down on Ling main Hydra. He is not taking up into lurker. So Storm can still just have its way with this army, 100%. Like ShoWTime can still shut this army down. Comes down to the engagement, of course. And ideally SHIN wants to surround. He wants to surround the High Templar. You can see Shin is trying to bait the army in, then he can come in for a flank. ShoWTimE waiting for his Zealot run by first. This will force a reaction. Shin, he shuts it down. ShoWTimE pulls away. Shin is maxed. Again, I feel like Shin should be getting a Lurker Den here. Even if it's Lair Tech Lurkers, it's better than nothing. Doesn't quite catch. Oh, no, oh, he does catch him. Does catch them. Ay, ay, ay. He got what he wanted. The High Templar, they get completely caught out. That was like 5 High Templar going down. Oh, no. I mean, I say that. He's spending a lot of his banelings. He will break the expansion, but now there's no storms. Shin, can he remax in time? Again, he doesn't really have much of a bank. This was maybe the best engagement that Shin could have hoped for. Even then, it's not going to be enough. Gets a base, gets a mineral line. Zells, they bust in across the map. And ShoWTimE, he has done it. Who needs Storm? That's true. Who needs that Matthew? Link drop into the main, not bad. Gets a couple worker kills, does force a recall. Zells say kill the natural. They bust into the main, 17 drone kills. And Shin is all in. At this point, Shin is all in. It's all or nothing. He's running into a wall of stasis fields. Oh god, it's all stasis traps. Baits out 1. Baits out 2. Does he spot the others? Baits out 3 and all 4. Okay, let's go. But the Archons, they just tank all the banelings. Storms come in. And you can see here in a head-on fight, ShoWTimE will just shut this down. GG gets called and ShoWTimE ties up the series 1-1. GG. GG, well played again. Shin, he was so committed here to pure Ling Bane Hydra. As we mentioned, there was no longevity in that army for Shin. And despite the fact that he had the best fight possible, despite the fact he caught all the High Templar, despite the fact that there were no storms, didn't matter. Did not matter. The Archons, the Chargeless, they still held their own. They're still overwhelmed. GG. GG, well played. With that, ShoWTimE does tie the series up, and we are going to game number 3. Going to game 3. And we'll see how our players will adjust here as we get into Maganatha for game 3. Let's go. Let us go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Maganatha, we have the German Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Sentinels being forced, or actually forcing the ace match. We'll see if he can keep up that momentum. It is a ShoWTimE. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Weibo Gaming. It is SHIN. Sorry, I usually mute for that. I'm dying, I'm dying. So from here, we're settling in. Do you have our initial opener? This time, there's no hatch block. This time, there's no drone across the map. This time, we're not moving out. This time, we do have SHIN forced to take the unnatural natural. There's no crazy chaotic start to the game. And again, last game, I was just really concerned that ShoWTimE was being too passive, that he was giving his opponent too much time and allowing SHIN to saturate. But as we mentioned, what did SHIN do with that? Didn't really do much. Like, he just committed to Ling Bane Hydra. He never take up into lurkers, and without that, he never really stood a chance in a head-on fight against Storm, against Archons. I like that. But now we're getting into Maganatha. Maganatha being one of the, or the largest map in the map pool. Is the largest map at longest rush distance by ground. Here we go. Because I would usually expect longer games here on Maganatha, but with these players involved, with SHIN specifically involved, I don't think we're going to really see that. Technically, we kind of got that in game number 1, but that was more of a timing attack as well. Like, SHIN had no intention of going head-on against SkyToss in the late game. It was all about ending the game earlier. It's all about that lurker timing. For now, it is going to be a Stargate opener. Stargate opener at a ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE from here can take a third base. I do feel like ShoWTimE is going to be a little more comfortable here on Maganatha. And we expect to see Oracle into Blink, into a third. We'll see if SHIN once again skips Roaches. We'll see if he does skip. Here we do see ShoWTimE just poking in. He's a Twideps, so that has to be respected. Twideps taking one-shot workers, so we can dive into the mineral lines. SHIN trying to keep up. So far he is. ShoWTimE does catch a couple of Zerglings. Ooh, shades into the natural. And does commit. Only 2 Zerglings here. Yeah, gets 1, gets 2 drones. Not bad. It takes care of the Zerglings as well. Is going to be cleaned up, but not the worst trade here from ShoWTimE. Gets 2 drones, not just 2 drones, gets 7 Zerglings as well. And with that, SHIN is going for the counterattack. Ideally, he wants to delay the expansion, wants to delay this third base, but there's only 3 Zerglings, so they can't do much here. They move out, ShoWTimE defends, Oracle dives in, and is checking saturation. Making sure there's no fast gases, no fast Roachhorn, and no fast lair. Meanwhile, fast EVA chamber at a SHIN. Just like last game, this is going to be for +1 melee. Ideally, SHIN wants to skip Roaches. We'll see if ShoWTimE can scout this. If so, then he can also skip Blink. For now, though, he is deflected. For now, the Evo Chamber is hidden. We have +1 and... Sorry, we have the Forge and the Twilight Council on the way. Ooh, an FSA shaded once again. Yeah, they take down the Zerglings. They get 2 more drones. Ooh. As he doesn't shade. Does pull out. Third Oracle has arrived. The tech is about to get ready. And again, with triple Oracle, we can dive into these mineral lines. We can even go for a Queen. Speaking of, yep, does go for the Queen. The Queen does go down. Nice pickup. Has to back up from here. He never did confirm whether or not there was a Roachhorn, so +1 and Blink on the way. Coming in towards the mid-game here, I do like SHIN's position a little bit more. A little bit, as he does bleed out 3 more drones. 3 more workers going down. Oracles do get away. And we'll see if SHIN goes into Ling Hydra. We'll see if he saturates the 4th. That's kind of like the big next thing that we're waiting for. Does SHIN drone? Does he not? And ShoWTimE's waiting for that as well. For now, ShoWTimE is taking up in towards Storm. Hydrogen is on the way. ShoWTimE checks the expansion. That's a lot of Zerglings on the way here. The Oracle's a spot. Some of them move out. And SHIN, he has potential. For the most part, ShoWTimE is secure. SHIN looking for a way in. But this is a big investment. Like, again, this does slow down the drone count of SHIN. SHIN, his 4th base could be saturated by now. The Lings are at least keeping ShoWTimE busy, at least keeping him pinned. SHIN making some workers. Sho does run with 74. He's taking another gas geyser as the army gets dragged out. Lings, they do hit the natural. So ShoWTimE, yeah, can warp in. The gateway is going to go down. Not bad. Takes down the gateway. And SHIN, he's hitting workers at 77. I don't see an infestation bit, not yet. And no pits. He's making nothing but Ling Hydra. Queen's going to be going down. And, oh, we do spend a lot of shots on the expansion. Yeah, a bit of miscontrol there from ShoWTimE. He's getting caught out. Yeah, completely caught out here. Lings, they collapse in. They shut down more of these stalkers. Oh, the speed zone's coming into play as well. Oh, God, he gets surrounded. And with that shutdown losing too much. So many stalkers do fall, and now it's just now we just counterattack. Storm is getting ready. Lings, they catch another stalker. Oh, almost. High Templar, they will bully back the army. SHIN, he backs off, making more drones, and we should be taking. Like, with this many workers, like, there's no reason not to take up. More bases on the way. And speaking of taking up, I mean, ShoWTimE is taking that Q. Fleet Beacon, Stargaze working towards Skytos. Fourth base is on the way. ShoWTimE is getting ready. And SHIN, just like last time, just like the last game, he is not going into lurkers. He has 87 drones. He has the gas for it, but no, he's just doubling down. He's committing. Let's go. No bathing speed. There is no bathing speed. Still gets some connections. Massing on Whirling Bane towards the left hand side as well. SHIN is doubling down. Banelings, they're busting into the mineral line. Nice storm. Banelings, they do almost make it in. Almost. The longer this goes on, the better it is for ShoWTimE. Like, SHIN, he's all in. He's all in on lair tech. And we're running out of storms. We get some decent Baneling connections, but Hydras are pushing forward, and we need more Zealots. We need more of those Zealots. We need more buffer here for the army. As SHIN, he's not stopping. Yeah, he's not stopping. Still rallying forward. Banelings make their way to the mineral line. Storm on the Hydras. Storm on the Banelings. And there's maybe one storm left. Soon to be two. And SHIN, he's just not stopping. Yeah, he's not stopping. Gonna roll forward, and it looks like he has broken the expansion. Takes down the third, and GG gets called. ShoWTimE, he was taking, he was expanding. SHIN was not, and GG well played. SHIN, he does snowball out of control. He breaks ShoWTimE, and he will take a lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG well played. SHIN essentially going for, like I say, an all-in. There was a really high drone count, there was an economy, but it's basically committing into lair tech, right? There's no infestation bit, there's no lurker den, there's no hive, there's no nothing. It's just pure Lingbane Hydra, and you make nothing but Lingbane Hydra. Unfortunately, ShoWTimE, remember, he was getting Stargate, getting a fleet beacon, getting a fourth base, unlike in other games where he blindly would set up cannons and shield batteries at his third. This time there was an opening, this time there was a weak point, and SHIN did go for it. GG well played. He just committed, just sent everything towards that third base, eventually broke through. And with that, SHIN takes a lead. SHIN does take a lead. If we saw ShoWTimE able to fortify that third base and defend there, he would have just snowballed out of control. He would have just won the game. In that sense, like, SHIN was all in. GG well played. With that, we'll see how our players adjust as we're getting into Ultra Love, a much smaller map, a much more aggressive map. Let's go. Here we go. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the red Protoss player. The red Protoss, we have the German Protoss representing Sentinels. Down in the series, we'll see if we can bounce back and force the ace match. It is a ShoWTimE. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player. We have the South Korean Zerg representing Weibo Gaming. It is SHIN. you go. Do Zerglings have Adrenal? SHIN is known to forget about that. There was no Hive. There was no Infestation, but there was no Hive. It was a layer tech all-in out of SHIN. So there would not be Adrenal there. SHIN getting a Hive is something that belongs to the bingo card. I mean, SHIN did get a Hive in Game 1. But Game 1 was... there was a lot happening in Game 1. Game 1 was a mind game where it was the almost opposite of Game number 3. Where Game 3, ShoWTimE thought that the game was progressing. He saw drones, so he's like, oh... like, let's take up into Sky Toss. Game 1, ShoWTimE killed the 4th base of SHIN, assumed that SHIN was going to all in, when SHIN actually just droned and teched up into Hive. So, like, it was almost like the polar opposite there. Game 1 and Game 3. But here we go, we're loading into Ultra Love. Now, Ultra Love is known for all-ins, is known for... I say all-in. All-in doesn't really mean much in this kind of context. Is known for earlier aggression and earlier all-ins, commitment on a lower base count, lower economy as well, lower economy. Just because the rush distance by ground is shorter, we've seen a lot of German taxis, we've seen a lot of Queen walks across the map as well. I mean, this map is pretty played out, just because it's lasted 2 map pools at this point, so we've seen a lot of games on Ultra Love. And this is one of those maps where we do not expect a SHIN to get a Hive. No shot. But, you know, because we don't expect that, is that where we see a Hive? Is that where SHIN drones? The mind games, right? So mind games come into play. It can be hard to read a player like SHIN. For sure. To have the initial Stargate open out of ShoWTimE. SHIN claiming his 3rd. ShoWTimE is poking in. With this, I will threaten a dive, does shade out, heads into the natural, gets 1 drone. Gets 2. 2 workers do fall, but nowhere near as many Zerglings this time. SHIN will hold. SHIN, he will hold. If you recall, last game at ShoWTimE got 2 drones and 7 Zerglings. This time, 2 drones and only 3. So SHIN, he does defend a little bit nicer here, or a bit of a cleaner defense out of SHIN. Link speed is on the way, and we'll see if ShoWTimE can protect his 3rd. See if he can defend this expansion. Assuming that SHIN moves out. Oracle's on the way. So far, just getting in higher saturation. We have 10 more links in production. From here, we should soon be seeing our tech of choice, Forge, Twilight Council. ShoWTimE's follow-up. Oh, as for the first time in a long time, that's a Roach Warren. Okay. Roach Warren on the way from SHIN. I mean, we spoke earlier about, you know, German taxi, about going for Link Queen, Roach all-in of some kind. We're kind of leaning towards that here. Meanwhile, Links, they do hit the 3rd. Oracle does deflect. Lair is on the way. And we are looking for Overlord speed. We're looking to see what kind of upgrades we invest into as well. Let's say shade into the main, not bad. Getting 2 drones, 3 drones. Yeah, 3, 4 drones going to be going down. Links are dealt with by the Oracles. Yeah, nice setup here from ShoWTimE. Does pull away. Does pull out. Behind the SHIN, he has a lot of rejoining to do. Okay, late Forge. Interesting. Late Forge here by ShoWTimE. should still be Blink. ShoWTimE moving out with more Adepts. 7 Adepts have hit the field. Was the Eva Chamber cancelled earlier? Just now starting up. Okay. I swear I saw it earlier instead. Never mind. Link's trying to engage. Ooh, and we might just be walking across the map here. That's going to be 14 more Zerglings. The drones, they shut down. They're getting shut down. Let them say bust in. Nice position here behind the mineral. Links, they just can't engage. Yeah, brutal trade here for SHIN. Aye. Roach production. Where are the roaches? Where are the roaches? Like, we have the warren, we have roach speed, but the last 5 more drone kills. I say 5, 6, 7 more drones is getting out of hand, becoming far too much. Plus on range is on the way. We're taking up into Hydra Den. But this is brutal damage. 8 drone kills. Aye. And again, invest into the Roach Warren, getting into Roach speed, but no roaches for defense. With that, ShoWTimE takes an economic lead, getting more drone kills. Oh, we'll lose 1 Oracle. This one. Behind this, we're taking up into Temple Archives, into Storm, and meanwhile, at the same time, SHIN, he's droning. Okay, I assumed that because he has sustained so much damage, 16 drones went down, I would have assumed that he would have gone for an all-in, but no, that's not the case. SHIN, he's droning. Droning, he's taking Infestation Pit, he's taking him into a hive. This is looking similar to game 1, where he's working towards lurkers. But this time he has taken much more damage. And ShoWTimE is not reacting too hard. Like, he's not blindly setting up more cannons and shield batteries. He's being more active, he has a massive amount of stalkers, he knows he has momentum. Pushing out to deny the 4th base. I'm not so certain that SHIN can save the 4th. Yeah, there are just so many stalkers. And what can SHIN do? Nothing. Yeah, he just cannot save it. 4th base goes down. Yeah, ShoWTimE just bullying SHIN here. Peeking away at the roaches. SHIN, he has the pits. He's going for lurkers. So it looks like the goal here for SHIN is to just turtle to try to take up. Now, if SHIN can get into lurker tech, into hive tech, into upgrades, he can slow the game down and crawl his way back in. But I don't really see that working too well against ShoWTimE of all players. There's that hive on the way, as we mentioned. I mean, it is a way to recover, right? To mass up into lurker and to slow the game down. The problem is that Storm is almost done, and I'm pretty sure ShoWTimE should be pushing before lurker tech. Like, the army's ready. Like, he's got plenty of High Templar. He's already got energy. He's got his stalkers. Like, he's not waiting for anything outside of maybe a prism. Yeah, there's no robo. There's no robo, no war prism. And he shouldn't wait for one. Like, now is the time to move out. I say that he is double expanding. We're gonna and he is getting a robo, so maybe he won't push. And never mind. Like, right now SHIN is vulnerable, and I feel like ShoWTimE could have broken through, but SHIN now is morphing in his lurkers. He's taking gases. SHIN, he's droning. ShoWTimE is being much more defensive, much more passive. This is actually quite similar to game 1, where it looks like ShoWTimE is getting ready for an all-in. He's getting ready to receive an army from SHIN, but SHIN isn't. He's been droning. SHIN's been droning. SHIN's been resaturating. SHIN's been teching. Now we get the fleet peeking. This does feel a little bit late for ShoWTimE. And SHIN is back in this. SHIN is back in this game. Lurkers out of position. The lurkers are rotating over. The lurkers are stuck at the 3rd. They have to move down to the low ground. And he's going for the dive. Yeah, he gets one. brutal. Oh my god, the storms are brutal. Yeah, storms are insane. He gets 1, 2, 3, 4 lurkers. The storms, they just shut down the main army. Shin trying to engage more storms. And that was a better trade here for ShoWTimE. It was a better fight. He cripples the army, and behind this, Tempest. Tempest are amassing Mothership as well. Thankfully, ShoWTimE wasn't too passive. I was concerned he was going to stay at home, but no, he pushed. He pushed out, he traded well. Cleared up a good amount of supply from SHIN. And ShoWTimE didn't lose much. Like, ShoWTimE, he's still got a healthy High Templar count. Plenty of High Templar, plenty of Stalkers. He lost 1 High Templar in the fight. Very efficient. We have a second Stargate on the way. That's a lot of High Templar. that's a lot of Storm, but yeah. It's a lot of Storm. Oops. Nice one. Gets 1 lurker. I just realized that the talent is not researched, so he does not have burst speed. There's 1 Hydra. There's 1 Hydra, down to 0 Hydras. That 1 Tempest can just get free damage. Can just shell away at the army for free. There's no anti-air. Go for it. At the same time, ooh, he's distracted. Yeah, ShoWTimE is distracted. He is being forced over. The base is going to go down. And the expansion falls. But again, ShoWTimE should just kill this army. I mean, he only has the 1 Tempest, but he has another ship as well. Again, there's no anti-air. We can just walk in. Yeah, shit, his army's just being picked apart. He doesn't have the best economy either. He's only on 71 workers. That's less than 4 base saturation. And ShoWTimE is moving out. He's snowballing out of control here. He's going into a Sky Toss. Plus 1 air attack is on the way. He maintained his 4 base setup. Again, ShoWTimE has a better economy compared to SHIN. And again, SHIN, he got away with lurker tech, but thankfully ShoWTimE did still punish him. Did still move out. Did still break the army initially. Had a very strong fight here in between the bases. And oh god. Yeah, he's just bullying those lurkers. Are there any ZvP builds in the meta that skip oracles these days? There are, but they're like all-ins. So like Tempest Rush, like you go Void Ray. You open Void Ray and then you go into a second Stargate, a Fleet Beacon into like a Tempest Rush. So there are some niche builds. Or like a Twilight Council opener. Twilight Council into Glaives. So there are some like niche all-in builds. Oh. More aggressive builds. Meanwhile, Lings, they come in for the dive. They're coming for a surround. Oh my god, they just melt. Lings, they get shut down by the storm. GG gets called, and ShoWTimE ties up the series 2-2. We are going to the ace match. Let's go. Whew. GG, well played. Again, we saw a bit of a shaky early game out of SHIN, winding it back. If you remember what happened at the start of the game, 16 drones got killed. 16 drones were down to the Adept harass, and it wasn't even Glaive Adepts. It was just initially 2, then 4, then a set of 7 Adepts that went across the map, and they just kept getting damage done, despite the fact that SHIN had a Roach Warren. If you remember, never made any Roaches. Or at least early on, he didn't make any defensive Roaches. He was relying on Zerglings instead. Before that, he was caught out with only a handful of Zerglings as well, and the Adepts, they just wreaked havoc. Adepts and Oracles as well. True. It was a combination of the two. got 16 drone kills, and SHIN was crippled, and he had to make a choice: either go for an all-in or try to macro out of it. And he tried to macro out of it. He teched up into lurkers. He did get away with it in a sense, where he was able to drone up and get a 4th base and get into lurker tech, but before he could really hit his final form, we saw that ShoWTimE did break out. Thankfully, ShoWTimE wasn't passive. We've seen that before. We've seen him be overly defensive and overly passive, but here he had the advantage. He broke out, and he did cripple SHIN ahead of time. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going all the way to the ace match, and game 5 is going to be on Torches. Jesus. Okay, we're going to be loading into Torches. Torches, one of the more vetoed maps in the map pool. We don't really see it too often. We almost never see it in best of 3s, but in best of 5s, it's become more regular, more frequent. Has been more frequent, and here we go. We are getting into game number 5, the ace match, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Torches, we have the German Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Sentinels. It is ShoWTimE. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Weibo Gaming. It is SHIN. Go. And SHIN, he defied expectations. Again, we expected a more aggressive build out of SHIN on Ultra Love. Instead, I mean, he was forced into it in a way, but he was forced into a more economic setup instead, where he was forced to drone, forced to tech, and forced to try to get away with lurker tech, but alas, he barely could not. ShoWTimE able to beat him there, beat him into Sky Toss, and also, of course, be active with his Storm, with his High Templar. And SHIN, he was just on the back foot from almost the beginning of the game. But now we have the ace match. And welcome to Torches. Torches is an odd map. We have seen a lot of cheeky all-ins on this map, where you can mine through the minerals and mine across the map as well and go for these all-ins. We saw Rogue do this. Rogue, he did go for a Link Flood all-in, a hidden all-in against Hero in GSL, whereas Rogue, he basically mined through these patches on the right-hand side. He mined through these patches here as well. They just flooded links right into the bases of Hero and cheese the hell out of it. I recommend the VODs. We did cast it, of course. It's on our channel. It's over on YouTube, or I think the VOD is still on Twitch. But that was the GSL Season 2 semis, where Rogue was very cheeky here on this map. Likewise, we also have the gold bases that you can take advantage of. You can try to rush into the golds early on. Likewise, rush distance by air and ground is very short. So we'll see how our players make use of this map. So far, I think Rogue is the only one that's gone for that kind of all-in, at least at the pro level. But that's also because we rarely see this map, right? Like, it's often vetoed, so I don't think a lot of players have really tried to specialize builds on Torches too much. Outside of that prepared format. True. Here we go. We are going to be massing up some early links here. I would imagine just for Adept defense. Adepts are moving out. Again, it was a Stargate opener into Oracle from the side of ShoWTimE. Oracle's on the way. Link doing the commit. They make the way to the natural. They cancel the shade. Ooh, Evo Chambers Lays getting 1, 2, 3. 3 drones going down. Not bad. Gets 3 workers, and can he escape? Link speed is done in 10 seconds. And done in 5. And does escape. Does pull away. I say that SHIN is on the hunt. Does break out, looking for that Adept. And should catch it. Ooh, never mind. Adept gets away. Adept does race back home. Does make it back. Third base is on the way, and now we're just waiting for the tech of choice from SHIN. Waiting for an Evo Chamber, a Roach Warren, a Lair. We'll see what SHIN has in store. As I would say, this is a better start here for ShoWTimE. Getting 3 drones and 5 lings for only 1 adept. And here comes the follow-up. As I've said, we come into the shade. Lings are keeping up. Takes down 1, takes down another adept as well. Evo Chamber's on the way, fast pulse on melee. Okay, so SHIN, he's going to try to skip roaches. Skipping roaches, going into lane, going into Hydra. ShoWTimE going for a standard follow-up. And ShoWTimE did see the Evo Chamber, so he may choose to go straight into charge. He may choose to go straight into charge, into +1, then into storm. Oracles, they bust in. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we're gonna lose one of the oracles though. 6 drones go down. It's an okay trade. It's okay. The problem with losing oracles is they have just so much value in ZvP. They hold so much value over time as well. That's a bigger gateway explosion, getting up to 6 gateways. +1 and blinker on the way. ShoWTimE, and do we throw down 2 more? What's the plan here? We'll keep an eye on that gateway count. FC busts into the mineral line. They don't get too much done. Better defense here from SHIN. Cleans up the adepts. And okay, takes gases. Never mind. If he didn't take these gases, I was waiting to see 2 more gateways, and then we could have seen a 3-base 8-gate all-in. But no, he's taking gases, which means he intends to tank. Whether it's Colossus or Storm, one of them's on the way. Yeah, Lings, they poke in, they scat the gases. SHIN is aware. And the answer is Storm. So Temple Archives into Storm, into Archons. ShoWTimE is taking up. And SHIN is fully aware. Now, upon seeing the gases here, SHIN EWC safe, which means Hydrogen is on the way. 4th base as well. SHIN is droning. SHIN is droning up. Baneliness alongside this, so he's going to link Bane Hydra. Now, we have seen SHIN get up to 4-base saturation and just commit and double down, avoid a hive, and just go for a lair-based all-in instead. Go for a lair tech army and just max out. So that is going to be a possibility here for SHIN. Still a bit early to tell. Stalk is a pick forward. Get a queen, not bad. Gets a queen, takes down some of the Hydras, going for another queen as well. Going for 3 Hydras even. Very nice. Things are coming for this around. The oracles are ready. The oracles are ready. ShoWTimE did rebuild the oracle that he lost. So back up to 3. And SHIN is still droning. Still droning. And again, we are waiting to see if he does take or does throw down Infestation Pit. Otherwise, this could be a repeat of what we saw previously. Could just be a repeat of Maganatha. The Link's getting caught out. Oh. Overlord speed is on the way. Yeah, this is looking similar to what we saw previously, getting ready for Dropper Lords. If you remember, we saw that on Pylon. Yep, speaking of Dropper Lords, there they are. So this looks like a Ling drop into the main, and then the main army towards one of the other fringe bases. But SHIN, he's not taking. So he's not taking up. We're not going for Lurkers. We're not going for Hive. Once again, it's purely just Ling, Bane, Hydra on Lair Tech. And we're loading up. But this time we're loading everything, actually. Oh my god. We go for the Doom Drop. Oracle's moving in. You can see that ShoWTimE is taking up into Sky Toss, but ShoWTimE right now, he's at his most vulnerable. While he's taking his... Oh, no, he sees! He does see, he does scout. Does confirm the drop. Is aware. He's racing back. He's out of position. He's racing on over. And this is not a fake out, of course. Like, the entire army is here. They have force to unload. The drop is denied. Whew. Aye, aye, aye. And Shin's about to max. Again, he's maxing out on Link Main Hydra. He has no intention of teching. This time ShoWTimE is getting ready. He did invest into Skytoss, that's true, but he's not making any Skytoss units. Just trying to fixate here on the defense. Bailings that don't quite make it through. They're going for the High Templar though. He wants them. Oh, it doesn't quite make it. Yeah, forcing another storm. But SHIN is going to overwhelm at the same time. Zelarambai, nicely done. The 7 drones going to be going down. Not bad. 7 drone kills, but there's no buffer. There's nothing to support the army. There's High Templar, yes, but nothing else. Yeah, the High Templar going down. Lings, oh, they do snipe. Getting 1, 2, getting up. Almost all 3 High Templar. And SHIN has done it. SHIN, he's done it. He's breaking through. Stalkers are coming from behind. There's only a handful of Stalkers left. Again, storms that were spent that were forced to be wasted on the Link Bane. Oh, gets the mineral line. Yeah, probes are going down. The Oracles as well. Gets all the Oracles, and SHIN has done it. SHIN has done it. He has broken ShoWTimE. Again, ShoWTimE just not set up here at the base, not in time. He just didn't have enough Archons, didn't have enough buffer for his High Templar. Archon's now going to be morphing in, but it's too late. Yeah, it's too little too late. SHIN, he has done it. Oh, we got the mothership on the way. Let's go. SHIN's still building up. Did lose some workers earlier, but he's still just rallying across the map. Already got a mineral line. He already crippled a ShoWTimE. SHIN is going for the final army. Nice storm on some of the Bailings, but there are just so many Bailings. Oh my god. Yeah, they crash into the mineral line, they force the recall, they take care of all the workers, 17 more probes go down, and down it goes the 4th. And from here we just go back to the 3rd and contain the Protoss on 2 bases. And now SHIN is taking. Now he's taking up Infestation Pits. SHIN, he can just keep going, by the way. He just keep pushing. At least to deny the 3rd. He's rotating over. He's going for the expansion. He hasn't seen that 3rd base. Does collapse in. Trying to. Again, the mothership has arrived. Decent storm. The base goes down. That's all that SHIN wanted. Takes down the expansion. And now we can just keep rotating. Just keep rotating. Head towards the northern base. Oh. So let one slip by. He threatens the army. At the same time, heads for the expansion. Bailey on good. Base, they catch the workers. Base goes down. The Zealot Rabbi is going to be successful. We'll get an expansion, but SHIN is racing back. He's done the damage he wanted. Takes care of the 3rd. Just getting up those Zealots. And ShoWTimE, he should not be able to recover here. 2 bases just shouldn't be enough here to sustain himself. He's trying to get a 3rd base, trying. He just wants to expand, man. And now he does have a decent force to work with, but SHIN can just max out, take more bases. Hive is halfway done. Lurker Den's on the way. Now making use of the Drop Lords. Let's go. Does force a cancel. Drops into the main. And SHIN does commit in. Ideally trying to force out their storms. ShoWTimE going for the retook top left. No shot. It's gonna go down. Bold move out of ShoWTimE. I mean, you have to do something. And technically, I can see a world where ShoWTimE can win a fight, at least pre-lurker. As we mentioned, nice storms. Very nice. If only there weren't lurkers on the way. As you can see, there are 13 lurkers in production. Now SHIN actually has an army, like a robust army that can fight head on. He's got the concave. It's well set up. We have Hive upgrades on the way. Spire is now done, getting to +1, just in case. SHIN just ensuring there is no expansion. And there isn't. There is no third. SHIN is keeping up with the rotations. ShoWTimE looking for a way in. Again, if he can somehow wedge himself in between the bases here, then maybe. Oh, it does recall in. Okay, let's go. It does recall into the main. Okay. Has control of the main base. Can kill the Hive. Not bad. Hive is going to go down. SHIN was out of position. And he can also deny Adrenal. True. Adrenal can be denied. Gets on top of the tech as well. The Hydrogen, the Spire, the Lurker Den. Este ShoWTimE. And at the same time, we can try to force a base trade, but remember, ShoWTimE can always recall. You can always recall back home. Takes down the Spire, denies +1. SHIN still checking for expansions. It's like, no way you're doing this on 2 bases. It's like, yeah, that's what you think I need a third? Nah. And you might think he's trapped, but he's not. He can just recall. Remember, he can always just recall. As he still has his base recall remaining. Nice storms. Ooh, Lings, they collapse in. Force out another storm. Ooh, Corrupt as they catch at the mothership. Lurkers moving in. We have to recall out of here. Does bunch up. Does stack as best he can. And there's the recall. He will catch everything. Oh no, except for 3 zealots. 3 zealots get left behind. He'll sell it, man. And again, that was a nice move by ShoWTimE, but unfortunately, in this kind of game state, it doesn't really matter as much. It slows down SHIN. Like SHIN, he has to rebuild his lair, he has to rebuild the Spire, the Lurker Den, the Hydrogen, has to rebuild everything. It's more of an annoyance than anything for SHIN. Again, it's one of those things where ShoWTimE can still win a fight. So SHIN is being very careful trying to engage. Oh, pushing forward. Gets an Archon. Over Brutal Storm. Lurker goes down. SHIN trying to collapse in. And he will get the expansion. Again, this area is just so wide open. It's so difficult to defend this third. Base falls. And based on this positioning here, ShoWTimE is being bullied away from his own natural. Uh-oh. Yeah, here come the lurkers. ShoWTimE is locked out. Lurkers are moving in. And he just locked out. He's locked out of his base. And from here we can just slowly push forward. And we go for the base trade. I mean, it's the best chance. The best chance here for ShoWTimE is a base trade. Does throw down a ninja base, but GG gets called. The writing was on the wall for a while now, and SHIN, he will take the series 3-2 and will advance on to those playoffs. GG. GG, well played, SHIN. He will claim the series. Again, SHIN being hyper aggressive, never really embracing any kind of longer game stage. At times would tech up, of course, but only when he needed to. And with that, GG. GG, well played. Never had to deal with the sky toss of ShoWTimE. Never ended up in that kind of situation. Unfortunately, ShoWTimE, again, he was caught out here on torches. He was teching up, whereas SHIN was going for nothing but Lings, Banes, and Hydras. Not the first time we saw that this series, and not the first time it succeeded either. GG. GG, well played. With that, SHIN, he does overwhelm, does overrun, and SHIN will claim that matchup. Oh. 3-2. Went all the way to the ace match. Went all the way to that ace match. So impressive play there from ShoWTimE as well. I mean, that could have gone either way, to be honest. Could have gone either way. In the end, does go the way of SHIN. And now we can catch up on our matches. Oh. Beautiful. We can catch up on our matches. We can catch up on what's been going on in the rest of our matches. Here we go. Here we go. We're halfway through. We're halfway through our best of fives here tonight. We had Maru. Maru took down ShoWTimE 3-0. SHIN took down ShoWTimE 3-2. Again, it was a closer back and forth between SHIN and ShoWTimE, but does go the way of SHIN in the end. And up next, we have a best of five between Hero and Raynor, and a best of five between Clem and Classic. So 2 best of fives are remaining here tonight. Whew, as we catch up on these qualifying matches from DreamHack Dallas. Let's go. Let's go. As we're halfway through, we're going to be going on a short break. Jesus. It's already been 2 hours. An hour each series. Yeah, makes sense. But we're going to be going on a short break here. And when we come back, we will have Hero versus Raynor coming at you next. That's going to be a qualifying match from Group B. And then Clem versus Classic thereafter. So we'll see you soon. We'll see you soon after this short break. See you soon. See you soon.